Hello, this is Hope Roski with Business, Arts, and Events. And today we are going to talk real estate. And I have with me London Lowe, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Barbara Gottfried, hello,
Hi.
how are you? Well, London and Barbara are with RPM Platinum Realty, and so many times people are looking for places to live and they're just not ready to buy and they want to rent. And sometimes people want to still hold on to their house because maybe there's a transition happening in their life or they want to make an investment and they like to rent their house out. Well, these ladies are the experts in doing that. So I would love for you to tell us a little bit about how people go to apply if they want to rent a home. I think that's really important because some people think, well, I'm just going to show up to a property and that's it. But there's actually more to it. So Barbara, what do they need to do?
All of our applications are online through our website, and you upload the documents that we need, such as your photo ID, bank statements, proof of income. They'll do the background checks, credit report, landlord references, everything to qualify, as well as all that information's on our website. Okay. But it's an application they put in for all the adults, everybody over 18 that's going to live in the house needs to have an application approved with us.
Okay, so what about a person who is self-employed, London? Let's talk about that, and that the paycheck looks different from period to period. I understand typically you need to make 3 times as much as what the property is. How does somebody who's self-employed go about doing that?
Well, from my understanding, they would submit their bank statements.
And the tax return.
Yes.
And tax
And
returns.
tax returns.
Yeah.
Okay, so that can help somebody who
Right.
has that fluctuation
Different.
because there's so many
Self-employed. It's
people
true.
are so worried, well, I can't get qualified for a rental because I don't show that consistent income.
Right.
So thank you for that clarification. Well, I know today that you're going to talk a little bit about Clovis and what Clovis has to offer. One of the things that I noticed with the median prices here in rental properties, that for a 3-bed, 2-bath, that typically we're looking in the 2,000 to 2,500 range. Is that pretty typical for
Pretty
the
general.
community?
Yes.
Right.
Both Fresno and Clovis then, correct?
All across
Correct.
town.
All right, well, let's talk about the first property on Anderson if we could. All right,
Yes,
take
so
it away, Linda.
we have a very special property on Anderson in Clovis. This modernized home features 3 spaces, bedrooms, and 2 full bathrooms. It's located in the 93612 area code. It's 1,248 square feet, vinyl flooring throughout the entire house. This is a very unique property. The backyard includes a unique feature of full regulation size pickleball court and basketball court. Perfect for entertaining. It also has quality backyard furniture, and it's a low to no maintenance front yard as well. Ceiling fans in each bedroom, and the kitchen includes stainless steel appliances, fridge, gas range stove, oven and dishwasher. A washer and dryer is also included. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I'm just taken aback that there's a pickleball court.
It's very
It's
unique.
unusual.
And
Yeah.
basketball court. It's like
Yes.
usually you have to belong to a community and you get it right here at this
That's right.
property. That's
Yes.
amazing. Go ahead.
Yes, and it's walking distance to grocery and shopping, and also easy access to Highway 168.
Excellent. That's great. What a beautiful property.
very
I mean,
unique.
I love the front yard and it's a beauty inside. Barbara, can you
It's
tell
inviting.
us about the next
My
prop-
other next house?
Yes.
You bet. It's actually in the Harlan Ranch community. That's like 168 in Shepherd area, and it's on Chesa Lane. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, and it's listed at $24.50 in rent. It has a nice loft upstairs that's extra flex space. The community has a big Olympic-sized swimming pool and a clubhouse, some playgrounds, walking trails nearby. And the nice thing is it's the Clovis Unified School District, so a lot of people find that appealing too.
And I know people are really enjoying moving out further east to Harlan Ranch.
A lot
I
of
mean,
growth.
they
That
love
is true.
that, what
Yeah.
they call the new community that has everything that you can desire right in the neighborhood, especially excellent schools
Close by.
as
That is
well.
true.
So is the next one, are we going to elevate ourselves up on the next one here?
Right
All
on
right,
elevation.
London, let's go ahead.
Great
Go ahead
transition.
now. Yes,
Yes.
was that a good one for
That was.
elevation? Okay.
So on Elevations Way, also located in the Harlan Ranch community, this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It covers over 1,200 square feet, over 2 stories. It has stainless steel appliances, stackable washer and dryer located upstairs. Also, all of the bedrooms are upstairs. It's in an HOA community. The front yard is, care is included, low maintenance backyard. So if you're looking for a low maintenance yard, this would be a really good property for you. The Harlan Ranch, like Barbara said, the community has great walking trails, multiple parks, a clubhouse, and a community-sized Olympic pool. And it's located in the Clovis School District.
Okay, so let me ask you that HOA question. Is that usually embedded into the rent, or is that something that the renter has to pay for, or is that something that's negotiated?
Actually, the owner will take care of that expense, and the renter will have the luxury of enjoying the HOA amenities.
Okay, before we go into the next one of the things I wanted to ask is the importance of renter's insurance. Barbara, tell us a little bit about the imperativeness of that.
It's just a smart way to go through life, and we do
Right.
require it of all of our residents.
Okay.
It's just a good protection for the liability, your possessions, and it's just peace of mind. It's necessary. It's not that expensive, really.
Right, I mean, when you
Yeah.
get down to it, it's worth it,
It's less
especially if
than-
something happens.
Maybe $20 to $40 a month.
Correct.
What about what you're shopping for?
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the
Okay.
last one that you have.
Well, thank you. The last one I have, it's in the location of Ashland and Leonard area. It's also in Clovis, and it has a 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. It's move-in ready. They're asking $2,295 in the rent on this one. Square footage wise, it's about 1648 square foot. And the yard care would be the resident's responsibility to do. Everything else about it, they do ask, the backyard's mostly concrete, and they ask that there's no pets, and like all of our homes, are no smoking too.
Right, and so it's up to then the landlord to decide whether or not they have a pet. Now, here's one of my questions. With people who have emotional support pets, what are the rules in regard to that? London, can you address that?
Great question, by
That
the
is a
way.
good
Thank you.
question. So, emotional support animals are considered a companion. You do have to get that registered with an actual doctor, and there'll be paperwork that they'll have to turn in to prove that.
So if it does say no pets, there is an exemption then
Yes.
for
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
An emotional support animal or service animal is basically treated like a person.
Yes.
There's no additional money, there's no pet deposit, pet rent, any of that. It's not on the table at all.
And I think that's so good for viewers to know,
important,
because some
yes.
people don't know that, and
Yeah.
they, again, if they see, well, no pets, and then they think, and they have
That house
a
is still
support,
possible for
that,
them.
that house is still possible
Yes.
Yes,
in
ma'am.
that process. So let's flip the table here a little bit and talk about people who want to actually list their house for rent. How does that all work? What's the process there?
You bet. So our homeowners or our investors, some of them, like this is a second home, or they might be leaving the city but want to hang on to their home.
Sure.
And sometimes it's just an investment, and it's a great opportunity that they have. So we take care of everything with the renter, and basically just deposit for them and take care of all the communication with the tenant, and keep it as hands-off for the landlords as possible. So we're the mediary.
So let's talk a little bit about with rent, and somebody comes to the end of their lease. Should they expect a bump? How does that all work? What should a person expect at the end of a lease?
Sure. I'll take that question.
Sure.
When the renewal comes up for the lease, we'll do like an analysis on where the market is. And we're looking at a couple of things going on, because if the house is already at a price that it's probably the most that it should be for the house, we recommend sometimes that there isn't an increase, so we keep it consistent and the same. It usually doesn't go down, but sometimes it will go up if a home has been lower in the market, and the owner might have other costs coming up. If he's looking at expending money on a new roof, he might need to raise the rent too. He has costs and taxes and things that are coming up, so.
Okay, so one final question, and I know this is a sensitive one, is the process of somebody who doesn't keep up their end of a lease. Okay, so how does that unfold? What power does a landlord have so somebody isn't per se staying there without paying?
Sure. If they do have a delinquency in paying rent, there's notices that are done, and then there's legal steps that they would take if necessary. But we're always open to have a conversation first before it goes legal.
Sure.
Just to find out what's going on in someone's life, because things do come up, but it's a difficult conversation some people don't want to have, but it's better to talk about it and find out, oh, I lost my job or something's changed in my circumstances, I need to leave. And it's better for us, we'd rather just have the house back and release them and have them make an exit of the property instead of staying
Make a
longer.
graceful exit, you know, and there's some
Better for
people
your
who may have,
references.
sure, and they may have a job transfer, there might be a health issue, there's so many
Life
different.
happens. We understand that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Life does happen. So finally, I do want to ask, and London, you can address this. Something goes wrong in a rental property, like let's say the garage door isn't open or things break. Whose responsibility typically is that?
So we do have a full maintenance department, which is great, not only for the renter, but also for the owner. The renter at 24/7, they have access to the maintenance line. They can put a work order in. And at that time, our maintenance department, they get on it right away. They're able to evaluate each maintenance order and decide if it's an owner's expense or a renter's expense. And we diligently make sure that our homes are, all of the repairs are made. And
Wow. So is there a website, because I know you have more properties than this, what is the website that people can go to,
I'll
or
let you
if they
do
have
that.
any questions?
Oh, that's a good question.
So the RPM Fresno is our website. It's available. You can scroll and see maps, photos, details about each house. And we're happy to help in any way that we can.
Yes, and if you're an owner looking to rent your property, you can find resources on the website as well.
That's excellent. Well, London Lowe and Barbara Gottfried, thank you so much for
My
coming
pleasure.
on the show. They are with RPM Platinum Property Management. Ladies, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and I hope to get to interview you again.
course.
This is Hope Roski with Business, Arts, and Events.